16 days of activism against gender-based violence is very important this year. Data from several countries show rising cases of gender-based violence due to the city lockdowns, which have placed victims and oppressors in close proximity. The situation in Nigeria is not different. The United Nations documented more than 3,600 cases of rapes during the COVID-19 lockdown in Nigeria. Now, joining me to discuss this is the Head Counseling Unit, Women at Risk International Foundation, Sarah Ologun. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
Good morning. So looking at all of this now, first of all, the 16 days of activism. Give us an overview of what it's all about.
Okay. So the 16 days of activism is actually a period that has been set aside to create awareness against gender-based violence, because it has been over the years a menace. And since the time we decided to begin to put data to it, we realized that a lot of people have suffered from this violence, gender-based violence as a whole. And it's not just only centered around rape. It also involves genital mutilation. It involves domestic violence, women. And this is not just only about just women. Also, a lot of men have suffered from sexual assault, rape, and also physical assault. So in all of it, it's something to create awareness about so that people can begin to know their rights as regards this, because hitherto, people believed, several people that have suffered, believed that there were no support for them, nothing for them to rely on. So a lot of people have lost their lives in terms of this violence. And so this is an opportunity for us to create awareness for people to know about it, know their rights, know where they can reach out to for help. So basically, that's why we've taken out, the opportunity is there for 16 days for this event to keep going on so that we can know more about gender-based violence.
Talking about awareness, are we doing well as a country in terms of creating awareness against this?
We are doing, I would say we are doing well in terms as a country.
How well?
Okay, but now, right now, we have a lot of sexual assault referral centers that are being launched, opened. And in Lagos right now, we have 2 centers. Warif is one of the centers, and we have another one at Lasut. We also have the center at Alausa for domestic and sexual violence also. So right now, other states are also opening up the sexual assault referral center. And even from Lagos, we create a lot of awareness. So as a nation, we are not there yet, but the truth is we are doing a lot in terms of sensitizing students, in terms of a TV program as this, in terms of a lot of radio jingles and all of that. So there's a lot that is being done to create the awareness.
Okay, so with the much that has been done to create awareness, how far have we gone in achieving, let me say, low cases of gender-based violence?
Now, what we see now is that people don't keep quiet anymore. People feel free to be able to talk about it. They have places to run to. So that's how we can begin to measure the impact. To talk about whether there's a reduction in it, we can't really measure that as of now. But now, the opportunity that a lot of people have suffered this in the past and know where to run to. But right now, you see that as soon as it's happening, people report. So, for example, in the center, usually it would be that people are reporting after a month, after 2 months, and maybe it has to be that the parents find out or something. But right now, right on time, people report immediately it happens. So they're able to get the necessary drugs and psychosocial care that they need immediately.
All right, so according to the UN, 1 in 3 women worldwide experience gender-based violence. Now, we're focused on women at this point. Now, how did we get to this point?
To get to the point of being able to gather that data, or to say how come as the menace degraded
1 in
to
3
this?
women, yes.
Okay, so now that's the thing about silence. That's the thing about silence, because keeping quiet about it has made a lot of people suffer this and also suffer the emotional trauma. And so thereby, sometimes one of the symptoms of sexual assault is the fact that the person by himself or herself has suffered sexual assault at a time. So keeping quiet about it makes it the person, there's a decay emotionally, and so obviously then you see that it's going round. And because silence feeds the perpetrator also, so the perpetrator that has actually carried out a sexual violence act on a young girl in the community, and she's quiet, then yes, he'll continue to her sister.
What about
he'll
the stigma that is
friend.
associated with that? Because a lot of times, because we live in a largely patriarchal society, so when it comes to these issues, the woman gets stigmatized socially.
Yes. Okay, so yes, that is, but the awareness is helping a lot. Yes, the awareness is doing a lot. The fact that a lot of highly placed people have come out to say it happened to me too. It has made a lot of younger people, people out there to feel comfortable to share their stories. Yes, and because right now a lot of people believe either too, it had been a fact that if anybody knows about it, nobody will get married to you, okay? And so if anybody knows about it, everybody tags the young girl as being promiscuous and all of that. Yes. So, but right now, because of the awareness, we are able to say, speak out, you get help, you get the necessary counseling that you need, and it doesn't have to be that your life is grounded. So yes, in as much as I won't say the stigma is out of it, but there's a lot of progress. There's a lot of progress.
Still talking about the awareness, we can only gauge the awareness in cities. What about in the rural areas? Are they speaking out? These things happen there as well.
Yes, it happens in the rural areas, yes. And so that's why sensitization does not stop in the city. Like, for example, women at risk, we take the sensitization to the traditional birth attendants, the rural areas. So they did a lot, in terms, we reached out to them, and they were able to reach out to a number of households during the COVID. So we went house to house, sensitizing people in the rural areas, that's in the suburbs of Lagos. So, you know, these are the people that go to the traditional birth attendants, and that's why that is one of our projects, you know, as an organization, where if to say, let's reach out to these people, they can reach out to, you know, those that we cannot actually reach out to. So the awareness is also has also reached to them too.
Okay, so what is the lifelong impact of gender-based violence on the girl child?
Yes, it's like you have said, it's a lifelong impact, all right. But psychosocial counseling, therapy will help her in coping. Why is that? Is because when it happens, the girl child feels there's a feeling of worthlessness. Yeah. There's a feeling of valueless. There's a feeling she has lost control of herself. There's a feeling of shame, a lot of shame and guilt, and that's actually what makes the girl child, lose the fact that, to talk out, to speak out. There's a feeling of shame, the feeling of guilt. She's blaming herself a lot. She's angry, and she becomes violent because she's angry at her perpetrator, loss of worthlessness. So you see, all of this is coming at her, you know, at that time. And the truth is that because there's a lot of flashback to the events that has happened, the truth is this begins to affect her. It can affect her in her education also, because while she's at class and someone says something about these things, it takes her back to what has happened. Yes, it triggers the whole thing, and then she's having headaches and all of that. She can't concentrate. So you find out that she can begin to, to dwindle down in her grades. She's having lower grades and all of that. That can affect her education as a whole.
So what are the roles of parents in this regard? How can parents help the children safeguard the girl child from experiencing these violence?
Now, for the parents, it's important that we create very safe environments for our children. I know that usually in the Nigerian setting, we have many a times we welcome a lot of people into our spaces. And the truth is that the perpetrator does not always look like a perpetrator at all. he does not look like a perpetrator, and he guards himself such that you don't suspect. So I would say let us create safe environments for our children. I would say let us be careful of whoever we are bringing into our houses. I would say let us do due diligence on the schools before we, enroll our children into the school. I would say let us also be very close to our children, okay, and let us watch them, closely. So don't just feel comfortable away at work and you say you got a nanny and you leave the children with the nanny. Do a close-up with the children, close mark what is the nanny doing, what is happening, and all of that. So with close monitoring and ensuring that they're in a safe space, I think we can help a lot as parents.
How do you do due diligence on especially the schools the child attends?
Now, we should check what the history has been with the school.
Okay.
We should also know who the class teacher is. We should be close to the school. That's in terms of PTA, be involved.
Some parents are just try to neglect all of those.
Yes, so that's why this also is a form of awareness to parents to know that don't neglect your children to the teacher. Yes, so let us be close to the school. Let us really get involved, know their teachers, know what the teacher is about, know what the school is about, know the history reviews of the review about the school. And so with that, I'm sure we'll be doing our part as parents.
Okay, so what can the government do? State governments, local government, federal government, what can be done to end gender-based violence? Okay,
so I think sometime last year, and the sexual assault for the court cases to be the court for sexual assault, yes, was launched so that it's able to make these cases faster. The government has done that, yes. The government has also, put down some of these centers, down. But the truth is, what the centers we have, the facilities we have for this support is not enough with the statistics that we have as regards gender-based violence. So it will be important that there are more centers, that are open, more awareness still from the government directly, be made out open. It's also good that we penetrate also the rural areas like we talked about in other states, talking about not only focusing on Lagos State, but let it go around. Let all the governments, in all the states, let them adopt this this drive. Let them adopt this this mission that we are on, yes.
All right, thank you very much for talking to us, Sarah Logan. Thank you so much for talking to us.
All right, thank you too much.